know what? I was doing a little bit of a segment on this thing that we call financial lovemaking. I don't know if you guys know, I wrote a book with that title years ago when I was on the faculty at Syracuse University. It was one of the first books I wrote. And the reason I wrote the book Financial Lovemaking is because I was really concerned, not concerned, scratch that. I was really intrigued by the way love and money kind of mix together. You know, I was really intrigued by the psychology of money. When I wrote my dissertation, I was actually focusing on financial psychology, you know, how money affects our thinking, how money affects who our friends are, how money affects what we do with our lives, etc. But then I also noticed that psychology spun over into our relationships. You know, a lot of us choose our friends based on money. A lot of us will choose relationships based on money. You know, like when I started making a little bit of money, I was actually kind of surprised by the fact that I suddenly became a much more handsome man when I had more money in my pocket. And I didn't know that ugly men, that broke men were ugly. I didn't understand that, right? So I became really fascinated with the science behind it, because there is a science behind it. And it's really interesting, really intriguing. And so on financialjuneteenth.tv.com, we actually have a financial lovemaking kind of show where I answer questions, and I respond to questions that come in from people about things that relate to love and money and kind of how that works. And so I don't provide definitive answers. I'm not a definitive authority on everything love and money, but I think I can provide a perspective. So anyway, as we move forward, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up, share, and subscribe button. And also don't forget, you can actually follow me on Instagram at The Real Boyce Watkins. Feel free to do that. All right, so let me dig in a little deeper here. So the specific question that was asked, the specific thing that was brought up was, I saw a show with a guy, his last name was Samuels, and he was on YouTube. And there was a lady who called in who, and my friend, a female friend, sent me this. She said, do guys really think this? Do guys really believe this? And I was like, believe what? And I saw the video, and the video was titled something like, single mother of two really thinks she's the prize. And I didn't like the title in the beginning because it felt kind of degrading, kind of like how dare you think you're the prize? Well, you know, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm a believer that if you think you're the prize, that gives you can be the prize, right? A lot of people are the prize, and they believe that they're not the prize, and they believe somebody else is the prize, but they're not really the prize, you know? So I think it's okay to believe that you're the prize, but believing you're the prize is very different from arrogance, right? Or ignoring reality, right? Because some people believe they're the prize when they really ain't the prize. You know, like if I really think I look good and I put no energy into trying to look good, then I'm just lying to myself and I'm blaming the world for the fact that I'm not getting what I want, right? So I tend to see these things kind of in a weird way, in that, you know, as an economist, you get used to seeing markets. Everything's a market, you know. So I study, as an economist, we will study labor markets and capital markets and consumer markets. Well, dating is a market. Dating is a market, just like a grocery store. When you go to the grocery store, you know, they tell you the loaf of bread costs $2. You can't buy that $2 loaf of bread for 50 cents, right? So some people who don't understand the market will come into the store with 50 cents and be like, I want that loaf of bread. And they're like, you can't have that loaf of bread. And they're like, why not? I got 50 cents. Well, that's not what this bread costs. You're out of the market. You priced yourself out of the market because you're asking for more than what you're ready to receive, right? And I see dating the same way. Sometimes you have people who, you know, maybe they have one failed relationship after another, or nothing goes right, or they can't find the kind of person that they're looking for, and it's because they price themselves out of the market. Like you ask him, you're trying to get you a level 10, but you're only a level 6, right? And rather than accepting the fact that you're a level 6, you just want to believe that all the people that are level 10 are a bunch of jerks, right? A bunch of terrible people, and that the whole world's against you and everybody's out to mistreat you and all that. And I'm not here to take away your victimhood if that's what you're committed to, but I am here to try to kind of talk about facts and logic, and maybe that'll help. And then I also found that getting perspectives from the other gender can really help you see a lot of things you can't see. Like when I talk to Alicia's brain is very different from mine. And so, you know, she hits my blind spot. She can tell me about things I can't see. I can tell her things she can't see. And I read a book called What Women Want Men to Know. by Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. And that really kind of threw me off because I'm like, whoa, women think like this? Oh my God. So getting perspective from another gender can be really beneficial. Also, getting perspective from people who will confront your bullshit is critical if you want to get better. If you have people constantly telling you that you're perfect just the way you are and it's everybody else's fault, those people are not your friends. I'm just telling you, those are not your friends. People that are constantly enabling you to just go through life blind, deaf, and dumb and disconnected from the reality are not your friends. They're like I have this thing called an Oculus. It's a virtual reality thing. And what virtual reality does is it's really fascinating. It creates a whole world that's fake. But you can really be in a cool fake world. Like you could be on Mars, you could be living in a big mansion, you could be a karate hero or whatever you want to be, but it's all fake. But you can really think it's real. Like if you really go in that fake world, like you can really live there and really be like, okay, I'm chilling now. Like I'm in a nice apartment, I have a nice big house, right? And you could do that, but that's not reality. Well, some people do that. Some people put on their virtual reality goggles. They put on a lie. And they just live in that lie. They live in that fake virtual reality, and they don't want you to snap them out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'll address very quickly these issues that came up. This lady, she had 2 kids, and she was talking to a guy about dating. And honestly, I felt like he was a little bit harsh with her, but he did have some elements of truth. And I think that she felt concerned that people were not taking her seriously the way she wanted to be taken seriously. She had 2 kids by a different man, and she wanted to get married, and she felt that guys wanted to date her, sleep with her, spend time with her, but not go to the next level. Well, he gave her like a harsh, kind of a tough reality check. I thought it was a little bit too harsh. He kind of basically almost talked to her like she was damaged goods. And I think that's really, I don't like that kind of rhetoric because I think children are a blessing. I think motherhood is a very important job. And we know mothers should be respected, but we would be lying to ourselves if we pretended that a woman that has children is the same as a woman with no children, right? That's just, or the same thing with men. A man that's got 2-3 kids ain't the same as a man that's got no kids. They're different, but sometimes in some ways they might be better. Some ways they might be worse. So I thought, you know what? I'll make this a little bit personal. I am marrying a woman next year who has 3 kids. And I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth on what I see, what I believe, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And maybe this will help in terms of figuring out where you can find your place and find what you want in the dating market. That's it. I just want you to be happy. I want you to find what's going to make you happy, and that's it. Right. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Also, we actually made a movie about love and relationships called The Black Love Blueprint. So feel free to go to theblackloveblueprint.com if you want to. That's like a love and money kind of thing. So feel free to go take a look at that. So anyway, so here's what I can say honestly in terms of why I'm very happy to marry this woman that's got 3 kids. First, she was the prettiest woman I ever met. Literally, when I met her, I saw her across a crowded room, and I did not see another woman in that. I mean, when I was at the Indiana University campus, I did not see a prettier woman when I was there. Not one woman ever on that campus got my attention the way she did. So that's one thing. Her kids are well behaved. We have a good relationship because they are good people, and that has helped a lot. The father of the children is a good guy. I can call him anytime. We coordinate on the children. If I have a problem with one of the kids, I can call him and we will talk to the child together. It is an extraordinary situation. I love it. No baby daddy drama. She has a great career. So she actually adds value to the household economically and otherwise. And she's a smart lady. Also, she's a kind person. She showed me respect when I walked in the door. It was a respect where if I get into a conflict with one of the children, she's going to back me up. She's not going to come in and say, don't you dare discipline my baby. We don't do that. We don't do that. It's like Boyce is the man of the house. And maybe I'm old school that way. Maybe you think that's sexist. I don't really care about that. That's what masculine leadership is. Masculine leadership is when you learn the art of not giving a damn what anybody thinks. So I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think it's like wrong or that's toxic masculine. No. I'm the man of the house. She's the woman of the house. We have our power, you know, and I am a man, and we're clear about that, right? So so these things were very important, right? Because let me just explain. Look, the fact that she was the prettiest girl I ever met, if she wasn't the prettiest lady I ever met, I don't know, and maybe things would have been different. The kids, the fact that the kids are well behaved, if these kids were little baby's kids running around acting a fool and being disrespectful, don't a man want to deal with that. Don't nobody want to deal with no disrespectful kids, especially if you go to that next point. If the mother doesn't allow him to have that authority, a real man's got to have some level of authority. If he's paying the bills, he's got to be the boss at least part of the time, right? So if I'm in here and I'm in the space where I ain't got to be, I could be anywhere. Believe me, I met women everywhere, all over the world when I was going places and giving speeches and all that. If I'm here, I'm not going to be in a space where I'm going to be emasculated. That's just not going to happen. So if you got a child that is a little demon that is torturing everybody, and I don't have the authority to get, to possibly get in his face and deal with that, I'm going to just say, you're right. You the boss. This is your house. You right. You wear the pants. You got the balls. I'm going to be over here. I'm going to go to my space so that there's no conflict, right? That's all it is, right? And so I think that sharing that kind of might help people get into the head of some men. I don't speak for all men. I can't do that. Nobody can. But getting into the heads of men in terms of understanding why men do what they do, that's really better than running around constantly just saying that men ain't crap, men are stupid, men are this, men are that. People love to just demonize men. They love to just sit around and talk about how men are inadequate, especially black men. Black men do this and black men do that. I get tired of all that nonsense. Like, seriously, like, we are just as human as you are. We are just as logical as you are. And a lot of brothers are good, and very good people that want to add value to your life. But if you're bringing chaos and disrespect, he ain't going to be around that. And the nicer guys are not even going to tell you. They're not going to they're not going to disrespect you. They're just going to back away slowly. And next thing you know, you're not getting from him what you think you're going to get because you never laid the incentive out properly for him to even want to go in that direction. And the last piece, and this is just, more direct honesty on this. The fact that I'm not a poor man, the fact that I'm doing okay financially makes a difference too. Because let's just be clear, kids are a financial expense. They are a wonderful blessing, but kids cost money. If I were struggling financially, it would have been harder to do this. If I wasn't so attracted to her, maybe it would have been harder to do this. If the kids had been little baby's kids acting a fool, I don't know if I would have done this. If there was baby daddy drama, remember that's the thing about the baby mama and the baby daddy is like, you're entering into a relationship and you still got this other relationship that's like overlapping. So you got this other person to deal with. I mean, I know guys who dealt with baby daddies who threatened to murder them. Like, a lot of guys are like, man, I ain't got time for all of that. I ain't got time to have to carry a gun just to go pick up your kids. Like, ain't nobody trying to do all that, So, and then that last piece about respect and appreciation, I'm a big believer that men want to be appreciated. And some people get it. Some people can show appreciation. Some people don't. Some people are more likely to complain about you and tell you all the things that you did wrong and everything that you're not doing right than they are to tell you about the things that you are doing right. To say, you know what, you're needed. You are loved. You are appreciated. We are so glad you're here. Alicia says that to me all the time, and I love it. I love it. Because when you remind somebody of why you appreciate them, they're going to want to be helpful. They're going to want to keep doing what they're doing. You provided positive reinforcement for their behavior, right? So, but when you're constantly bashing somebody and constantly telling them where they came up short and didn't do this and didn't do that, then that's going to make them just say, you know what, forget it, man. I might as well not do anything because you ain't going to be happy with nothing I do. So whatever. The other thing I'll say is that, the difficult transaction and the difficult reality about, being a person in the dating market who has children, it's a two-edged sword, right? On one hand, you have to set a higher standard. So your dating market is going to be thinner because you have to set a higher standard. You can't have just anybody around your kids. Also, you can't be with somebody who doesn't accept your children. So you're asking for a bigger package. Like so when my mother married my father when I was 3, my father had to marry both of us, right? That's a higher standard. So that means if let's say that there was, 200 men she could have dated, well, that pool probably narrowed to about 40 men, right? Maybe 30, right? Because the price is higher. It's like you're marrying this pretty lady and her little big head son. You're not just going to get to go roll around the hay with some girl, right? So that higher standard can, sort of shrink the dating pool a little bit. And then also I think it does change perception. I would just be quite honest and say it is harder going into a situation where the children are already there than in a situation where there are no children. Being a stepfather can be hard. It is complex. You don't know what to do. You're like, if you're the father, you know how it works, right? If you're a dad, that's your baby. You tell the baby what to do. Everything, you have full authority. When you're the stepdad, it's sometimes if you're in a bad situation, it can feel like taxation without representation. You're expected to pay the bills and contribute. You're constrained. You can't run around dating girls and be out in the street. You got to come home every day. But yet you don't have the authority of a father, right? You decide you want to discipline the child or whatever. Somebody's like, well, don't you discipline my baby? Or the father's calling like, what you doing? I heard that you were telling my son, right? Or just dealing with the kids in terms of like what you want for them, right? You might want them to get a good education, but they might have a trifling, stupid parent who doesn't want that for them, where they go to the other parent's house and they're getting a whole different reality. So a lot of people don't want to share that authority. It's easier to raise kids when you are the final authority. So that was one thing I agree with on the guy's video was, when he said that, marriage and stable marriage and family is the best way to raise a child. That's really true. And really the thing about picking the right partner, there's a science to that. Staying married to that person, there's a science to that, right? That's something you should study harder than anything. There's nothing you will ever learn in college that's more important than your ability to find the right partner and stay married to that person. I kid you not. There's not one science class, not one math class, not one business class you've ever taken that is more important than your ability to maintain relationships, period. So I would encourage you, if you want to get good at this and you really want to get ahead in your life, go take the time to study how to pick the right person for you, and then also how to treat that person properly when you meet that person. It's a two-edged sword, because if you play the right game with the wrong person, that's as bad as playing the wrong game with the right person. It's got to be the right game played with the right person so that you can get to where you want to get to in life. All right. So I hope that this helps you guys. This is just my thought. Like I said, feel free to go visit the blackloveblueprint.com. That's our love and money curriculum in the Black Business School. I think the first month is free, so feel free to go take a look at that. And also, if you want to get more information from me, I can text you and stuff like that and let you know when I'm live. So you can text the word Boyce to 31996. Text Boyce to 31996. All right, guys. So I hope this is helpful. I'm out of here, and I'll do more of these in the near future. And also, I'll bring Alicia in on some stuff, because I don't know if y'all know, she's a relationship therapist. And let me just tell y'all a little secret. You would think that being engaged to a relationship therapist would just be wonderful and perfect. It comes with its complications. Let me just say that. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll talk to you later, and thank you for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.